Yeah, Incas, Docker, Unify, ScottiBYTE, power up the home lab.
Welcome back to the ScottiBYTE channel, and this is Scott. So back on June 22nd, I introduced the ScottiBYTE MultiView camera viewing system. And so this time, I'm going to talk about an add-on application to that system, and that is one that is called the ScottiBYTE MultiView Android Mobile. So the idea here is that this is an application that is designed to run on your tablets and your phones, and it's designed to be mobile. So it gives you a live TV grid, basically what you're seeing here on this mock-up phone, and then it allows you to tap to preview instant live picture one at a time, because we have to be concerned about bandwidth when we're remote. And then it also will let you tap another time to provide for a full screen landscape image. And it will automatically switch over to landscape, and then you can switch back to this thumbnail picture that you see here, and it will automatically go back to portrait. One of my complaints about a lot of these camera viewing programs that are out there is they really kind of change things up as far as whether they're landscape or they're portrait according to how you're holding the phone, and that always doesn't provide the world's greatest viewing experience. I also allow you to, once you've looked at picture in full screen landscape view, you can pinch to zoom, and you can also pan around in your live video. And then here back on the main screen, you can also custom reorder the videos to be whatever length you want them to, or whatever order you want them to be in. So the idea here is that the Android mobile application for MultiView is a little bit different than the FireTV one. We'll get to that in a second. But as I said earlier here, we've got the thumbnail preview. We have the one tap to go to the live view. We can pinch to zoom. And then we can easily swipe between cameras. Once you're viewing a camera in landscape mode, you can just swipe to the next camera, and it's instantaneous. It doesn't take a while for cameras to connect, and that's because of the architecture. So this thing works on phones and tablets, whereas the other one worked primarily, or really the other one worked on Fire TVs and Android TVs. Turns out that's actually a pretty separate interface. So let's look at the entire ecosystem here. So a lot of people have cameras, and I might point out that this application is specifically for cameras that can offer an RTSP stream. That's real-time streaming protocol. That will not work on things like Nest cameras or Ring cameras that are designed with their own proprietary cloud connection. The idea with this is RTSP cameras can remain totally local and totally private to your network. That improves privacy, and it also improves performance. So then in that last video, I talked about how to set up this thing that was called the MultiView Server. And the role of the MultiView Server is to basically consume these RTSP streams from your various cameras, and then to send them over to another component called Media MTX. And Media MTX is an HTTP live streaming engine, or otherwise known as HLS streaming engine. And so it converts these streams to very efficient HLS streams, and then it redistributes them onto the applications. So at first we had the Fire TV or Android TV application up here, and that application was really designed to work with TVs. I mean, you could use the D-pad positioning with your up and down and left and right arrows, and you could do select and menu. whereas the mobile application is really designed for more tap and swipe like we have on phones and tablets. So this application has to be side-loaded, and it's side-loaded from the GitHub, and I will have in the show notes where to get that, but it's on the screen here. And basically you have to set up your phone or tablet so that it allows installation from unknown sources. Maybe at some time in the future I might put it on the Play Store, but I thought it was more important to get this application out there first. So the next thing we have here is, what does the architecture actually look like? Well, again, we have our server here that is running MultiView Server, and it's creating these HLS streams in virtue of Media MTX, and then it's distributing those HLS streams down to either Android or FireTV devices, or Android mobile or Android tablet devices now with this new application I've got here. And so the big benefit of this thing is to be able to have anywhere access. When I designed the FireTV Android TV one, the idea that it was running totally inside your house. So there's going to be one small configuration change that we make to our .envs. You didn't have to serve this out through Nginx Proxy Manager with a domain name or subdomain name. Now with this, we want to go ahead and serve it out that way. If you don't, you need to have a VPN to connect. But the beauty of this is that since you require this pairing that the MultiView server uses, it's not like anybody's going to be able to access your streams, even if they load the application and even if they happen to know the subdomain for your MultiView server. Because in order to be able to actually connect to cameras, see thumbnails and all of that, the pairing code has to be accepted and approved by the admin of the MultiView server, and that's what makes this thing really secure. So this access architecture looks kind of like this. Here's the new phone application we're talking about right now. We've really got two links. We've got the API and thumbnails link, and I have that connected to multiview-server.ScottiBYTE.com. You can use your own domain, and that's on port 8080. And so in Nginx Proxy Manager, basically we have a subdomain, in my case multiview-server, that is equated to port 8080. That goes through the MultiView Server Docker container for the application itself, the main app, and then that handles pairing, connection, your camera inventory. It handles displaying the thumbnails and your settings and configuration, and kind of the user management part of it, that is the administrator approving people. And then the other line that we have here is that we have the HLS streams. Those are those very highly efficient types of streams. They're not heavy duty or resource intensive like your RTSP streams are. Your HLS streams are designed to provide consistent, smooth streaming. And so we put it through Nginx Proxy Manager also, and I created, in my case, a second proxy called multiview-streams. So up here we have the server, down here we have multiview-streams.ScottiBYTE.com. And then that points through port 8088, and what that is that is the Media MTX HLS stream converter engine. So that's the other Docker container in the MultiView server. And so what that does is that handles the live camera streams via those HLS streams, and then It's extremely low latency, and it really optimizes for these mobile devices. And so the key benefit here is we are using a secure SSL connection for both the communication to the MultiView server and for the pairing and the camera inventories and the thumbnails. And we're also using HTTPS for the sending of the HLS streams. So this thing is absolutely encrypted and absolutely protected. So the advantage to this is that most camera applications, if you have local cameras, require you to VPN in. And certainly you could do that with this if you wanted to leave everything local. But the point is that you can go ahead and proxy this and be assured that the streams are highly encrypted. With the introduction of the MultiView Android client, the MultiView camera viewing system has become a complete end-to-end system. And I want to encourage you to go off and look at the show notes for the details on how to do the configuration and also the download link for the application. Anyway, that's it for today. Please subscribe and like to the channel, and don't forget to hit your notification bell, and we'll see you next time.